Well, welcome to the Botanical Medicine Study course with me, your host and instructor for all things botanical medicine. And my name is Stephanie Georgieff. As part of the new programming, we will be continuing to explore botanical medicine in news and research. And if you would like to witness and experience Herb of the Week, you can do that on Patreon for $5 a month. But this episode will explore the use of essential oils and aromatherapy for addiction recovery. Now, the statistics about recovery are quite dramatic. Depending on what sort of statistics from which agency, we can say, at least in the United States, there are a whole bunch of people addicted to drugs. Best statistics put 48.5 million Americans addicted to either drugs or alcohol or both. And 27 million of those addicted people are on some sort of drug or substance. Now, these numbers do not include all the people who are on prescription medication for valid reasons, such as mood enhancers, antidepressants, and so on. So instead of rounding up farm workers and sending them to concentration camps in Central America, or putting tariffs on the world because of the fentanyl crisis, how about dealing with addiction in a natural way? Now, when it comes to addiction, I personally, honestly get why people choose to numb their consciousness. Life is painful, and popular culture is constantly telling us we have to feel blissful all the time with expensive products, such as clothing or gadgets. Now, at the base of this issue, in my opinion, is a separation from the natural world and the cosmos. Cosmologist Brian Swimme, in his classic book, The Universe is a Green Dragon, commented when he would talk about his experiences discovering the mysteries of the universe, people would tell him he sounded like he was on drugs. Now, if you've ever gone to a Grateful Dead concert and not taken any hallucinogens, like I have, and I can honestly say I've only been high once, and it was a contact high at an AC/DC concert in the 70s at the Long Beach Arena before the non-smoking policy was enacted. That was a very long time ago. I did get rather giggly off the marijuana smoke, but I've never been drunk either. And I personally enjoy being sober and conscious. I personally bliss out on plants, looking at them, that is, and baking bread. But I digress. It is so odd to me how loving and kind everyone is at these, what they call the further festivals, at these Grateful Dead concerts. Now, why can't they be like that without LSD, ecstasy, or psychedelic mushrooms? What is up with that? And I'm serious. This is very interesting to me. But what are we to do about the many substances that are truly harmful, which people are addicted to? One thing is to get outside, garden, hike in nature. The other thing is to help the body find substitutes that are not so dangerous or illegal. A recent study in Psychiatry Research, a journal in the United States, examined the use of lavender essential oil for helping to stop cravings for inhalant addiction. I'm going to read you a quote from the poison control website on inhalant abuse. Over a 15-year period, teens in the United States abused more than 3,400 different products by inhaling them. Researchers at Poison Control found that butane, propane, and air fresheners had the highest fatality rates. The peak age of inhalant abusers was 14 years old. A recent study included 35,453 inhalant abuse cases. The age range was from 6 years old to more than 50 years old, though most abusers were in their teens. Boys accounted for 75% of the cases. Most patients were treated in an emergency room. Of those with known outcomes, 208 died, and more than 1,000 experienced life-threatening or permanently disabling illnesses. Only 25% of cases had no effects at all. The most commonly abused substances were propellants, especially aerosol dusters, meaning computer keyboard and electronic sprays, followed by gasoline and paint. Other products ranged from hairspray and spray deodorant to glue, typewriter correction fluid, and various cleaners. All I can say is, wow, these are some desperate people in search of escape. And it's a very deep statement on our modern culture. And it absolutely breaks my heart and brain all at the same time. But an interesting study was completed in Thailand regarding inhalant abusers and the use of the essential oil of lavender. Now, essential oils are extracted from plants and they're used to promote emotional well being for more than 6,000 years since ancient Egyptian times, because the Egyptians were the first ones that we document that figured out distillation and fermentation. The volatile chemical oils are extracted from leaf, fruit, and flower or seeds of plants. And there's been some really interesting studies that show that they actually affect the emotion in both humans and animals, and that's through scent. Now, essential oils can reduce stress in individuals with people who actually can smell, possibly through olfactory nerves located in the roof of the nasal cavity. And what this does is it signals the limbic system. And that's what's interesting about the sense of smell. It's the most direct contact of the outside world with the brain. And you can see it in your lovely little diagram there. And it goes to the limbic system, which is the area for emotion and memory. The therapeutic use of essential oils has lots of documented therapeutic effects. It can reduce fatigue. It can, for people with certain diseases, it helps with insomnia, especially with those with depressive disorders. It helps, lower blood sugar and actually blood pressure in the elderly. It helps reduce anxiety in pre-surgical patients. And it also increases relaxation in surgical care unit patients. Now, these are some interesting studies, and if you read the study, everything is footnoted. And actually, because it's not done by artificial intelligence, these are actually real studies that are quoted in this. But what's also really interesting is that synthetic scents may produce pleasant odors that are similar to plant essential oils, but they do not have therapeutic properties that we notice all these other things with essential oils, but we don't notice them with synthetic scents. So I think that's interesting. And this is what's so interesting about this study about inhalant abuse and the use of lavender essential oil. And what they did in this research study is they made sure that these people could actually smell and correctly identify certain senses. Because if you can't smell, it kind of alters your research study data. And the researchers used lavender essential oil. They also used a synthetic lavender scent, and obviously control group that has no exposure to scent. And that they found by measuring all sorts of criteria from self-reporting also to brain activities that the lavender essential oil reduced cravings in people addicted to inhalants. There was a significant decrease of cravings in the lavender essential oil groups, but it wasn't found in the control or the synthetic scents. Now, years ago, in one of my aromatherapy trainings, I was taught that in hospitals in France, they used lavender essential oil as a disinfectant in their cleaning products, which made everything smell like lavender and not like chlorine bleach. And this atmosphere that smells like lavender helped calm people down. Whereas if everything smells like chlorine bleach, people are quite stressed. So I was taught that. I don't know if it's true anymore, but I love this story. Let's put it that way. Now, there are several essential oils that are being used as part of comprehensive treatment in addiction centers. And here's pictures of all the different scents. The oils that come from these plants are used for these scents. And they use them in air diffusers, and other practitioners are using these scents in baths and therapeutic baths, like foot baths, body baths, massage oils, and also in the aroma point method, where they're using essential oils on specific acupuncture points, which carry the not only the scent, but the energetics and chemistry to the organs involved with the acupuncture points. So you can see we have grapefruit. The little pebbles are frankincense, lang lang, lavender, bergamot, basil, chamomile, clove, peppermint, eucalyptus, sweet orange, lemongrass, and tea tree. And you can see there's some of these scents are rather stimulating and others are rather calming. And I think the stimulating is helping people wake up, deal with underlying depressive issues, which people are wanting to numb. And then the calming ones are really good for, anxiety and nervousness, things like that. So this is very interesting and I think worthy of more research, but also more application. So this is Stephanie Georgiev saying, I hope you found this study as interesting as I did. And, if you're suffering from some sort of addiction, or or love someone that is suffering from an inhalant addiction, why not try some essential oil of lavender in a diffuser? Now, this doesn't replace things like talk therapy, group therapy, or a 12-step program, but it's something that can help calm down the cravings physically so that the other therapies can work well. So this is Stephanie Georgia saying thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with me. If you would like to support the channel and have access to all sorts of wonderful benefits for various premiums, make sure to check out the links in the program notes on how you can join the Patreon community or make a one-time donation to the channel. So until next time, be well.